Okay, let's try to pick up where I left off. The only thing is, I didn't mill this down to 230 yet. It's still at quarter inch. So, first thing I'm going to do is mill that down so that it is at 230. Yeah, 230. So I'm going to take 20 thou off the top of that, and then I'm going to take and mill the undercut on it, which is down to 3/16, 187, going down and leaving an 1/8 inch down at the bottom here. So I'm going to put a 3/8 end mill in there, and we're gonna mill that down 20 thousandths. Alright, that takes care of that little step. Now we need to load them this way. And maybe I shouldn't have milled that step yet. Of course, I could come in over here. Trying to figure out a way of doing that. I'm going to get with a smaller end mill so I don't put so much pressure on it, because it's only going to be 60 some thou left. I almost could use a small end mill on that and lay it on the side. The only thing is, then I have that radius to contend with. But I think I can live with a radius in there, maybe. Maybe not. So, how am I going to do that? Whoop. How am I going to mill that down and notch that out? See, I should have done that first before I cut this notch that I just cut, darn it. I could lay them back to back, I guess. No, then I can't get the end. Well, I can't get the end then. If I lay them like that, I could go across. Yeah, if I lay it like that, slide them both together so that the notches are, and then mill up to the end of that and the end of that. That should get me there. I just want something where I can. I was thinking that I could clamp on that. Or I could lay them on the side and come in and mill into here and out, and then hit it with the file and file that corner out. I don't like doing that. Yeah, if I'd have done that right away before I shoot. Let me get the other parallels here once. Plus, I'd like to be a little further down in the well. I don't want it sticking way up in the air either, like that. Still sticking up in the air a long ways. Further than I want it to stick up in the air. And my 1-inchers are too short, I'm sure. Yeah, they're too short. I may have to use that and a Joe block, a 100th Joe block. Maybe that will get me there. Put a gauge block down in the bottom here. See if that'll. And I don't know. I'm thinking that that's pretty close. I have to open this up. I need 3 hands now. One to hold this on the parallel up to the top here. One to hold the part down, and one to tighten the vise. Want to give me a hand? All right. I think that'll. That's still clamping on too much. It's still too far down into the vise. I need about a 50 thou. I don't know if I have a 50 thou Joe block laying here anywhere. Well, I think I'm gonna have to cut away and figure out how I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back. Okay, let's talk about putting yourself in a corner here. I got my 1-inch parallels, another parallel on top of that, another parallel over here to clamp it, and I think this will work. I'm hoping it'll work anyway. I actually should have it up a little bit. Well, I could take. Let's see. Is that a short one or a wide one? That's a wider. I have two sets of these, and one's a little wider than the other. So I'll take and put the narrow one on the bottom here, and put the wider one on top. That way I move my clamping position up a little bit. So now I'm basically clamping just in this area right here now. So we'll see if that'll hold it. And I'll just kind of whittle away a little at a time until I get up to that step. We'll go the full depth right away, I hope. So I'm just going to come down and touch. Where's my piece of paper? I like to put a piece of paper in between. Gives me a little bit of, gives me a couple thou of clearance. All right, and we want to take them down, take that side down to 62, and we're at 300. So 300, 62. I'm gonna go 65. So that'd be 5, 9, 3, 235 thousandths. That sound right? 235. Yeah, that's about right. All right, so we'll crank her up 235 thousandths. We're gonna go with the full depth, but whittle our way back. That way, I got support until I get to the back, and we're at the finished depth. $100, $200, $30. Okay, battery went dead, and we had to switch batteries. I did get 4 spare batteries for my new camera I ordered. So they don't have the milliamp, or what do you call it? You know, they're supposed to be more than the original, but I know that they're not. They can't be because they're lighter, much lighter than the original. So, but they last quite a while. All right, so here we go. All right, that didn't go too bad. Now, when we flip it over the other side, we're gonna have to change our setup completely again, because we're not going to be able to load it like this. So we'll end up loading it down on this surface and trying to figure out a way of clamping it. But it doesn't look too bad for a finish wise either. So we'll do the other one too. We'll do the other one the same way. Just slide it in there up against my stop. And brush those chips off the top of this. Get it all in there. Come on. Slide that up against there. Slide the parallel up against there. Lock her down. I'm going to zero my axe. Make it easier if I put that hole in right now. The rocker hole. Because I could just set up and go through that wall and it just goes so far into this. Since I've got this surface to load on yet. Because once that surface is gone, then I play the tipsy number and gotta have try to figure out some way of hanging on to it and And right now is a good opportunity to go ahead and put that hole in. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to take a little file and knock the little burrs off of this so I get a good reading, because I'll probably be using my edge finder. This file's kind of big to be. Nice out today. Yesterday was cold. Day before was well below zero. It's supposed to be nice today, and then below zero again, and then nice, and then below zero again. I'm not going to let you get used to any of it, because if it stays below zero for a while, then you kind of get used to it, so it doesn't bother you so much. Alright, so now we're just going to set this in here. Let me see. That dimension comes from that dimension. Oh, it's just in the center of 187, so it's 93 thou. So we'll go like that, just like what we did for cutting it. Bring that in. Slide that up there. Bring that up, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna pick up this edge, and I'm gonna pick up the end of it, move over and poke that hole. And like I say, I'll poke it so far into this one on the opposite side, and then that way when I mill this other side, it's already there. Then the only holes I'll have left will be back here, which I'll just plop on a parallel and clamp, and shouldn't have no problem there. Those two should be easy. And then plus, I can either hand file a radius on it or take and run a inverted radius across it. I'm not sure what the radius size is. What it's called out anyway. So I'm having some coffee. Still learning on the camera. I don't know right now if I have it set correctly or not, because I screwed around with the ISO setting, and now I'm not sure where it was. Oh well, I'll find out when I go to edit it, I guess. And I did dump a file on YouTube that's directly right off the camera, raw footage with no editing or nothing. It actually loaded up into YouTube faster directly off the camera than when I edit it. And when I edit it, it's supposed to make it better so that it loads up quicker on YouTube, but the raw footage off the camera loads quicker than that. So anyway, the one that I loaded, yeah, it seemed like it loaded faster. Could be just my imagination too, I guess. Alright, we got the edge finder in there. We're going to come over here and I'm going to drop this down. Oops, don't want to touch the jaw. And come in until I touch the part. And we're going to move over 193. I'm going to zero that. Half the edge finder and then half of the 187. 93.5. Come on. Alright. Now we're going to move over here and come off the end. I think it was 125. Oops. Keep bumping the tripod this morning. Oh, it's actually About noon already now. Oh, I'm touching the jaw. Right there. Okay, zero my X. And let's take a gander at that. I think it was 125. But I'm not sure. Yep, 125 over. So we got to move 225. Oop, a little too far. Sure like my readout since I put that on. You know, I kept saying, I don't need no readout. I can read the dials. Well, you know, yeah, you can. But the readout sure makes it a hell of a lot easier. So, one of my YouTube friends, he went and put one on too. I hope he's enjoying his as much as I am mine, because I really like it. One of the better things I done. I consider that one of the better things I did, and putting that power feed on my lathe, another one of the things that I've done where I can actually crank the feed up and down without changing gears. And man, that was a nice upgrade on my lathe. All right, quit jabbering. Let's see what size hole. I'm thinking it'll be a 62 thou, 93 thou. All right. And I need 3/32 and a center drill, and we're in business. Look right. Looks right to me. Before I see, I was thinking my elbow was in the way, but it's above. And then the 93. I wonder if I should drill and ream that. I do have a 93 thou reamer here. I think it'll be all right. I just drill it. Don't want to go too far. Don't want to go down and hit my parallel. Should be far enough. We'll take it out and look at it and make sure before I tear the setup down. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I went plenty deep enough. Plenty. All right, now we'll do this other one while we're set up. I'm gonna hit it with a file here and make sure I get loaded correctly. These motors have been you know, I didn't think it was going to take very long to make it. You know, I thought, you know, a couple weeks and I'll have that knocked out. Well, then things happened, and and just my shop time has gotten cut short a lot of days. Kind of been taking care of the mother and father-in-law. You know, he's 97 years old. They both live, and what is she? She's 90, 91, 92. Anyway, they both still live at home, and that's a handful. Some days it's a handful. and he still wants to drive, and so. All right, so that takes care of that. Now we got to figure out how to clamp on the other side and do the other side to cut down. So that's got to be like that. Somehow we got to load. I say So that one I think is not gonna work. It's gonna be too tall. No, actually that will work. That's about the that was about the distance that we were at. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. I think I'm gonna try this parallel here. That's about the distance we were at on the other side. A little bit further out of the vise, but not much. So I gotta move the stop to the other side. We're gonna have to come way over here. Because this has got to hang down. So that has to hang down, so that has to come over like that. Now, this should be a taller one, yep. Put that there. And this should be a taller. No, that's a short one. I need the other tall one. Alright, what did I do with it? Oh. No, that ain't. Alright. I was using that one. Oh, here we go. I was using that one on the vise, or on the knee when I was cutting the box parts. So, that way, and then this can lay on top of that. And scoot in there. I think that'll work. It'll be right above the that jaw, or that parallel, but it should be fine. All right, go check out of there. Change collets. You know, I said I wouldn't be using when I got that digital readout. This rack came with it, and I thought, well, I will never use that because I have a rack on the side of my machine. This is much handier. I use that a lot, so. Yeah, something that I thought, I'll never use that. I see that light bulb that I got, spare light bulb. It's an LED light bulb. I don't hardly use that anymore since I have the ring light up above. I hardly ever turn that other one on now. All right, let's move over here. Touch off again. Come down. Touch on a piece of paper. And like I say, that paper, coming down and touching on that paper, I don't pull it hard. I just touch it to where I can't move the paper around. And that gives me a couple foul. Oops. Hitting the. I see my top came loose on my Okay. Zoom in a little bit. All right. So we touched on top, and that is, what did I say? 43 thou, I believe. Let me measure it. No, 230. Oh, 235. 235. So, all right, we're over here. Let's zero it out. And we'll go 100, 235. Now, we are going to get above the parallel, right? Not going to hit the parallel. Yep. I didn't want to hit my parallel. And then we'll come over until it cleans up to that 125 notch that we put in. And I want a conventional cut this because I don't want it yanking that piece up down below. It should be fine, but it's probably just over cautious. There's our hole. Then after this, we'll have to drill the two holes that mount it to the head. Yeah. As we get up here toward that side, it's a little more stable. Right there. I'm going to zero my X. And we'll put the other one in. So, radius and two holes here are what's left for this part. Actually, could radius this up on top here too into a full radius. I might do that instead of square. Drop that in there. The parallel in here. Push the parallel up. Push this down. Lock her in, and we're in business. I stained the box this morning. It's glued up. I don't know if I showed you that already or not. I might have. Box looks good. I got holes to put in the side yet for the switch, control switch, and I got to mount the motor to the top plate. to mount the motor to the top plate and switch motor. Oh, and then a charging port for the batteries. When I put the batteries in it, I need a port for charging, so I can just plug into a USB charger. All right, that's looking good. So now we can just mount them in there and load on this notch that we put in. So I wonder how my buddy's doing with he's building, instead of bar stool racers, he's building barn stool racers. He's into the go-karts and mini bikes. He's also the one that's he's an excellent carpenter. He's also good at building go-karts. Yeah, I wish I had his talent for that. He's can really do some nice work. All right, so I should slide that up to the stop. And then clamp that. And then I think I'll be taking a break. So I'll be back.